Hello everybody and welcome to Age Whiskey. This is a channel where we challenge everything after the still, and today we're doing a product review. We're checking out to see what this oak bottle thing is all about. We're gonna unbox it, we're gonna start aging on it, and we're gonna see how it goes. Stay tuned. So here's the box, man. This thing looks beautiful. The packaging on here is well thought out, nice instructions, it's clean, it's nice, it's ready to go. This has got a metal or a magnetic clasp on it, so that's really nice touch. And they have this what's called a exploration guide, which is really super interesting. They get into some home aging ideas in this book, in this little guide here, and they get into different, when it went in, when it came out, what the colors are. And these little comparison charts, they have an app also that works really well. Right here is a really cool kind of way of measuring the process and trying to figure that out. One of the things I also liked is their labels that they have here. So you can put whatever label you want on the bottle, because you actually get two bottles here. One's the oak bottle and one's a glass bottle. And it says contents, ABV or proof, finished by, the dates, and the finishing notes. Excellent manual there. Good job, guys. Here, let's go through the unboxing. Put the tab off the back, and then the bottles pull out. So once they're out, they're pretty easy to pull out. They come from the bottom up. This is the glass bottle that they include with it. Synthetic cork, looks pretty solid. Good pop sound. And this is the oak bottle. The oak bottle looks pretty sharp. It's got a cork on the top. And this top area, they said it's a level 3 char, which I assume is down in this area. But up at the top, it's kind of cleaned out. There you go. There's no char on that right there. I assume it's all down here. And we'll find out when we begin to age it. I had a chance to call the owner just because I wanted to get an idea of what I'm reviewing, what company, what they're really trying to do out in the industry right now. The story goes, Joel Paglione grew up on his parents' vineyard, and he was learning about how aging happens and the process of aging grapes and finishing off in barrels and all that. And the family was aging in smaller barrels to help improve the crop and get it out there faster. Seeing what he's doing here in a small barrel like this, it's a one piece with a cap on the bottom, white American oak. This is wood from the United States. And what I dig about the guy, and this is not really something that's in his marketing at all. Hopefully he changes that. But he's concerned about sustainability. And with all the oak barrels that are going out there, the millions of barrels that are in the world, that takes a toll. So how do we continually try to put more oak trees in the ground, and each bottle sold, he buys another oak tree. So, and oak trees, to make one of these guys, I don't know, you could probably, out of one tree, you could probably do, I don't know, a couple hundred of these guys or something like that. So that's really cool. It's gonna grow forests for future generations. So each of these barrels, I call it a barrel even though it's a bottle, is charred in a level 3 char. He didn't say it was toasted. It's got a nice finish on the outside. It's clearly sand and sealed. So that looks really nice. The logo on it looks really good. So I'm gonna put the White Dog from Buffalo Trace, Mash 1. So you can fit 750 milliliters in here. So I'm gonna use 2 of these guys to fill it up and top it off to the top. I'm gonna age it for a month. I may pull it off sooner. I'll be tasting it at least once a week, maybe more like every couple days. I'm really excited to see what happens out of here and the color. So I'm gonna show you some progress We're gonna work through this and it's gonna be super interesting. Full disclosure on this guy, I had to pay for shipping to get this to me. He gave it to me for free. And I told him, I said, you know, you're not paying me to do anything here. I'm not accepting any money. I'm willing to take a look at this. I'm willing to spend some money to bring it here because I'm interested in seeing what you have. But if it's crap, I'm gonna tell you it's crap. I'm really excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see what this bottle has done. You know, he's talking tens of thousands of these bottles already out in circulation. So this is super cool. I'm really excited to try it out. I hope it doesn't suck, because if it sucks, I'm not gonna be happy about it. But here we go. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this puppy up. Take the funnel, throw it in there. Crack open the Buffalo Trace. All right, looks like it's gonna take the whole bottle. That's great. Let's still have some headroom in there. All right, all filled up, doesn't leak, still pretty good. So I'm gonna shake this guy up a little bit, set it up on the rack, call it good. All right, we'll check back, have a couple tastings coming up. We'll see how it goes. And this is after 1 day of aging. So I poured the White Dog Mash 1 in there. And here's the color coming out. So that's the color after 1 day. It's pretty impressive. It's not too bad. You know, especially when I'm looking at something like this that's been aging for about 3 days, 4 days. So you're seeing very comparable. This one's a little bit lighter, but obviously it's only been aging for a day. All right, let's give it a taste. This is 125 proof. Yeah, it's definitely, there's definitely some sweetness in there, some caramels coming through. That butterscotch is still there. Maybe a little bit of honey, just kind of a touch of that. But boy, this is actually pretty solid. They're putting something together here that's pretty decent. Anyway, so what makes this a special thing is because it's all one solid piece of oak, right? The whole thing all the way around. It's really interesting. Except for that, you're starting to see right here a little bit of whiskey coming out of there, out of the grain, basically the wood ring, which means it's doing a good job. So it's coming in and pushing out. And it's been sitting for 5 days now. So I'm gonna go through and give it a taste and check this out. See that right there? So that is actually whiskey seeping through the barrel, the wood. How awesome is that? So it's doing its job. It's actually giving up a little bit of angel share. Doesn't taste like anything. But it's doing its job. It's pushing the whiskey in and out of the oak. Really interesting. So today, being 4 days out, 5 days out, let's taste the whiskey. It's my first time seeing it. Here we go. That color. That's 4 days, y'all. That's 4 days. That's crazy. Ooh, smells coming off there is creamy and buttery. Caramels. Maybe even a touch of vanilla in there. Ooh, this is nice. Oh, this is nice. Where is there? Boy, the peppery start cools down. It's a little bit of a bite, but it's really approachable. It's not that bad. The apple from this guy is a little bit there from the original, but it mellows out with not a lot of wood. I think we still let this guy sit a little bit longer. So again, we're at 5 days and let it sit for 2 weeks. Let's see what it turns out. Just a great color over there. Off the nose over here, I'm getting the very sweets, not the caramel, so I'm getting more of the cotton candy kind of touch on here. Definitely more in the sweets, kind of on the berry side. But most importantly, the white oak is really, really good here. And the char on there really kind of mellowed out a lot of those flavors. So I was really impressed. And one of the things that that I was just kind of thinking about, if I was to use this in the future, you know, finishing whiskey in sherry casks and port casks and any kind of wine barrels is a really hot thing right now. And this right here is perfect for that. You could take a bottle of wine, throw it in here, swish it around quite a bit, let it sit for a few days, let it drip dry the next day or whatever, and then put your whiskey in there afterwards. Hey everybody, I just want to give a final kind of wrap up on this whole project here. This is the oak bottle that's been aged on White Dog, mash 1. And I let it sit for about 3 weeks. So 3 weeks is a little bit much. I wanted to taste it from start to finish, and I wanted to see what kind of flavors came through in the whole thing. This is the finished product. Obviously, I drank a little bit of this in tasting and going through that, but what you'll see here, and this is very common, you'll see some floaties on the top, you'll see some charcoal down at the bottom. Sometimes it's difficult to see. Charcoal down at the bottom is totally normal. You can filter this stuff out. You can use a coffee filter. It's pretty basic to get this stuff out. But the point of this was I wanted to get to the point where it's almost over oaked. And I wanted to make sure I got all the flavor compounds all the way through the process. And what I found was, in the beginning, was a lot of the sharp, tart, spiky apples, kind of like super kind of, in my opinion anyway, a little bit unapproachable, kind of white doggy kind of flavors that come through. And then it started to smooth out and getting into a lot of the sweetnesses and the caramels, like right in the mid kind of area. I was feeling that about a week and a half, 2 weeks in. And then right around 3 weeks, I was starting to get a lot of the darker fruits and the raisins and the raspberries and some of that stuff coming in. And it was really interesting to follow that process all the way through. And really with just the bottle right here doing all the work for you, the flavor is kind of, you stop it where you like it, which is really cool. But I also ran all the numbers on this guy. So if we're talking about a large 53-gallon whiskey barrel, which you see at the distilleries, that has about a 56 square inch to gallon ratio for whiskey if it's full. This guy right here, and the way I measured it was, so I took the inside measurement right here, and I went 9 inches up, about to here. I didn't measure any of this cone right here. I didn't measure any of this. I'm not exactly sure if there's char on here. I'm not exactly sure if this goes all the way up at 750 milliliters. So it might be different. This is not an exact science. This is more of an estimation. I calculated the surface area of this guy being around 83.69 square inches. And if I put 750 milliliters in here, I'm looking at 422 square inches per gallon, right? Because we're talking per gallon on the whiskey barrel, which is about 7.5 times more surface area on here than in a whiskey barrel. And just to give you guys an idea what that means, I threw a lot of numbers at you. When I was doing my surface area experiment, I'll put a card up here, that had, I think 6.5 more surface area than a barrel for my cubes, and I think 8 or so, 8 a little bit more for chips, which chips are super hard to calculate, but you know, you get the idea. So this kind of plays right in that sweet spot of cubes and chips. So again, this is a super fast aging product, right? But what's nice about this is that it has the cork topper, which allows it to breathe, right? It allows it to breathe. In my mason jar experiments, it doesn't, right? I'm sealing off everything. I'm trying to keep all the variables and the changing variables to a minimum. My evaluation on the oak bottle is that this is a great product. I recommend this product. I think it'd be fantastic for any enthusiast to age whiskey at their house, whether it be homemade or off the shelf. But remember, this is a fast aging product, okay? So what that means is you've got to taste it every other day, every 2 days, every 3 days to find exactly where you want to stop it. When you stop it, basically open it up, pour it into the bottle that they provide or another bottle that you have, and you can filter at that point if you like. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you understand. This bottle is perfect for the guy that has everything. Maybe your dad that's a whiskey drinker that has every bottle up on the shelf. This is a great opportunity for him to grab one of those great bottles that he likes. They would like just a little bit more flavor into it. Grab it off the shelf, throw some whiskey in here, tweak it just a bit, and then have the perfect whiskey for him and his palate. So this is really, really, really interesting. Company's doing good things. Check them out. Oakbottle.com. This guy right here is $130. They have smaller sizes, and they're cheaper as they go down. Anyway, it's morning, so I'm drinking coffee. Cheers, y'all.